Hi, Pastor Steve and Pastor Mark here, and we want to just take a couple of minutes of your time to share some information with you. I'll start this off by sharing with you that after much prayer and careful deliberation, I've decided that it's time for me to retire. And that retirement will begin on May 31st of this year. I can't really come up with enough words to describe to you the joy and the blessings that have come my way, having the privilege of serving as pastor here at St. James during these past few years, especially being my home congregation where I grew up. At this point, you're maybe asking, well, what's going to happen next? And Pastor Mark's going to fill you in on where we are in that process right now.
Thank you, Pastor Steve. So Monday morning when Pastor Steve shared that news with me, of course there was an initial shock and a bit of sadness, and there still is, but also a gratefulness of the time that we've served together, and we still will for as the time that God gives us. But also just to congratulate him too on 40 years of service and ministry and another milestone, and now a repositioning for him and for Jane, and so we're grateful for them to have that opportunity in this stage of their life as well. And for St. James as we move forward. Last night, on Tuesday night, we had a board of directors meeting scheduled already, and we shared that information about Pastor Steve's announcement. And in our board meeting, we began the process of discussing how to move forward. And one of the primary things that came out of that meeting and discussion was beginning a process of seeking a candidate from the Concordia Seminary in St. Louis, a graduate who would graduate in May, and their assignments would happen in April. So it was a unanimous decision by our board of directors. Pastor Steve and I both felt that it was probably the most prudent and wise steps for us to take at this time. It's very timely. There are deadlines. All of this has to happen in the next 2 months, January and February. And by the beginning of March, we would need to have our call papers in. The process works generally like this. It's a little different than calling from the field. We'll be putting together a position description, sharing a profile of our congregation and a thumbnail sketch of who we are. We'll be sending that to the placement director and our district president as well. And if our district president approves, he'll allow us to begin the process with the seminary, and the seminary would identify 3 to 4 candidates for us in their graduating class. The good news is the placement director shared with me through a phone conversation that there are a number of very solid candidates that he believes would be good fits for ministry here at St. James, just knowing a little bit about our congregation itself already. And he would share those 3 to 4 candidates with us. We would have the ability to do some interviewing with them. We put together a small interview team last night made up of staff and some of our board of directors. We'll have a chance to do Zoom interviews with them for sure. Maybe I might be able to be in person at part of that interview process as well. We'll bring back then our evaluations as an interview team, recommendations, to a voters meeting near the end of February. Right now we have slated February 21st for that voters meeting to make our recommendation to the congregation for an approval to keep that process moving forward. We would know by the end of April. April 28th is call day at the seminary, if God was going to place one of those candidates here to serve with us at St. James. We're going to keep sharing that information as we're moving forward, so keep watching our announcement sheets, our worship bulletins, our websites. We might do more videos like this to keep you up to date and informed. Above all, a word of thanks of prayer in your prayers for Pastor Steve and his ministry here, for his transitioning and repositioning in ministry, and then also keep praying for St. James and this call process as we move forward in connecting people to the love of Jesus. Thank you. God's peace be with you.